So hello. Recently Brax uploaded a video about Etheria restart and I think he really doesn't like it. So let's watch.
The year is 2138. We actually have flying cars and somehow haven't all blown up due to dick measuring contests around the globe. Elon Musk's Catgirl experiment ended years ago and now we live alongside them. Life is strange, but life is good. You open up your invisible phone and browse the App Store looking for a fun game. You download the first thing on the list, and why does this game look like it was made in 2012? Mobile.
Hey, no, it ain't. It's good. The game's good, Brax. I know it looks like Summoner's War. It does sound like Summoner's War. Uh,
Games have improved every single year. At least some of them have. It really does feel like they're getting higher quality all the time, and that quality of life improves with every new iteration. The level of story writing, storytelling, game mechanics, and overall design just keeps getting better. But that only applies to some games apparently, because somehow Etheria Restart took everything that we felt good about in new mobile gaming and set us back 10 years. If you
nah, it ain't true. That ain't true.
don't know what it is, Etheria Restart is a PvP-enabled anime gacha game that released in early June 2025, and its goal was to be a unique addition to the anime gaming space while also being the first major modern 3D PvP gacha game. For a long
Yeah, I like that. I like that. And to be the first 3D game, PvP gacha game is, yep, it's really cool. It's really cool. Not gonna lie.
lot of people, gacha with PvP is a red flag, but for some, it's a green light straight into a casino. Funny
funny, funny, but it's true. Yep, all gacha games are uh pay to win.
enough, if PvP felt like the focus of Etheria, I probably wouldn't have disliked it so much after investing 30 hours. PvP in gacha is ultimately about who spends the most money, and I love my tax write-off. But the more I write the script and reflect on my time playing, the more I realize how fucked up this game is. From poor game design to using AI art to save a buck, Etheria Restart is full
Okay.
of problems that nobody is talking about because they're all sponsored.
Nah, not all. Not all content creators like me. I ain't sponsored. I ain't sponsored, but I ain't talking negatively about Ethereum Restart. Ethereum Restart is a good game. Yeah, if it's for me, it's a good game. Definitely there are setbacks, but yeah, it's a good game. I like it.
Here we go again.
When I played, I decided to stay completely free to play because when I played the beta, I wasn't impressed with the gameplay loop, and even though you'd get your money back and more from the rebate, knowing my luck, I'd have better chances on a reroll than by spending $200. So when the
Mm.
game released, I rerolled for 8 hours.
Oh man, 8 hours. But yup, Brax is right. Now, if you're starting, you need to really re-roll to get good characters. And yep, he's doing it for 8 hours. Damn.
はい、今出ます。
Re-roll.
See, Etheria gave out quite a few polls, but it has this huge problem that's present in some other gacha games where the best characters from the standard character
Mm.
pool are rarer than the worst characters.
Yes. Yes, it is. And it is called LND. Yeah, it's like and dark, like the white one and the black one.
It's the sort of scummy thing that some gacha developers do to make sure that you'll be willing to spend more money to compete in PvP or on some kind
Mm.
of leaderboard. And the reason
Yeah. We all know that. We all know that. We all know that all gacha games has like a system in where it is really a cash grab. Yeah, I do really believe in it. And this one is not an exception.
reason it works is because most people don't know that the rarer ones are much better until it's too late for you to actually re-roll. Remember, it's not the majority of players who are watching YouTube and reading guides on games. Most people are going into Etheria without an idea of what characters they actually want to pull for. But to make
Yeah,
matters
it's
worse,
true.
the rarer standard units, called LD units, have their own separate banner that guarantees them at 3 times the price per pull. This is
Yes, it has that banner. Yes, but yep, as I've said earlier, all gacha games must have this system in where like it is really a cash grab, and yeah, it has too many benefits. So, mm,
is another method that XD, Etheria's developers, used to trick you into thinking that the game is free-to-play friendly because the LD units can be earned without the 3 times price banner. But realistically,
well, well, it is free to play friendly, Brax. Uh, Actually, it's really free to play friendly. There's so many pools. Like you can get pools easily out of thin air in this game if you're free to play. Though I don't know how lucky you are to like pull uh SSRs here.
your odds of getting them are once per 4 SSRs, which have a 1% drop chance, assuming you don't go to pity. If we assume you get super lucky and get one every 40 pulls, you'd need to do 160 pulls per LD unit, which, considering how many units there are in this game, your odds of hitting the ones that you want are significantly lower. It does
Yeah.
have 100% rate up on the limited character banners, but those aren't always the units you need. And you might be thinking,
Yep. Though this is better than having a 50-50 on a banner. The 50-50 really sucks. That 50-50, like if you win, you get 50-50. The other time you pulled for like a character that you like, yeah, that sucks.
oh, well, Brax, this is a gotcha game. Obviously, you want to go for specific characters on your reroll, and you are 100% right. Not all SSRs and not all LD units are created equal, because if you don't have Lily, the game is basically fucking unplayable. Can you?
Yeah, it's basically Lily restart now. Yeah, and yep, Brax is telling the truth right there. Like you need the proper units to run other instances, other dungeons. If you don't have them, you'd like get like it gets more difficult. Now, you can do it without them, but yeah, the clear time differs, and also the percentage of success differs uh from the ones that has the proper units and for those who don't.
Can you play it? Sure. Do you enjoy having your balls hooked up to a car battery? Probably. Welcome to Etheria Reroll. You're going to be here trying to get Lily for the next 4 days, because the
Yes.
difference between accounts that had cleared hide content by day 3 and the accounts that hadn't.
Yes, Lily is really busted in this game. Lily is like a Bronya. Lily is the Bronya of this game. Mind you guys.
Was that all of the ones who had cleared
Like if you knew Bronya on HSR, yeah, Lily's it. Lily is a five Lily is an SSR Bronya.
had Lily. Lily has a speed increase, a crit damage
There.
increase, an action
There.
advance, and a cooldown reset. This is
Yeah, there you go. That
like
one.
if Bronya gave you an action forward in HSR 1.0, instantly cleared MOC 12, handed you the keys to a Porsche, and sucked your. And Lily isn't the only unit that this game requires you to have to be able to keep up, because they designed the PvE to actually be hard, which
Yes. Yes, as I've said earlier, you need the proper units to clear the instances. And it really differs like if you don't have them. But I think it's still like manageable to clear.
honestly isn't that big of a deal if you're willing to learn, except for the fact that some bosses basically require you to build specific characters. And in order to do that, you have to log in 3 times a day for 14 business days to use your stamina and not overcap. And in
Hmm. Well, yeah, if you wanted to recharge energy, then go. But yeah, if it's the daily 100 or 150 only, plus the daily quest, and if you are on Union, uh that would be like a breeze. This game has a very good auto system, in which you can do auto, then close the game, and then just wait for it to notify you that your auto has ended. Then you restart it again. It's really good.
In fact, by then, your characters probably still wouldn't even be maxed because it takes so goddamn long to level them to max, and then ascend them to give them another star and level them to max again, and then ascend them
Yeah.
again to give them another star and
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's the main. That's the problem. That's the problem. Yeah, the leveling up of characters really is long. It takes too long. Etheria, please double the drops, please.
this game's grind is a disaster. This game has so much grinding to it that the club would be jealous. First off, you have shells, which are basically weapons with RNG sets. Then you have
Yeah.
modules, which are gear with RNG stats and RNG sets.
Mm.
Then you have prowess, which
Yes.
is your character's skill
Yes, your
levels that takes
traces.
not only specific missions,
Yes, this is the traces right here. If we're talking about Honkai Star Rail, then the other one, like right here, is the artifacts. No, artifacts in Genshin. It's relics. It's relics in Honkai Star Rail. Yep.
skill levels that takes not only specific
Mm.
missions, but also incredibly rare resources that you have very
Yeah, this one's rare. This one, the gold one is rare. Even the purple is rare. Yep. This one is for like skill ascension.
limited amounts of, and the character's level and ascension, which XP can be farmed for, but at very slow rates, and once you max out the character's level, you have to ascend them to make them even stronger, and those resources are ridiculously limited.
Yes, it is ridiculously limited. So, yep. When I started the game, like I really put into effort in which would be like used for the max level character. Mm.
As well. Problem is that it takes so many resources and so much time to level a character, their shell, their prowesses, and their modules that free-to-play players are better off going to college for 4 years and getting a f***ing job to swipe instead.
Yeah, it is hard. It is hard and it takes too long. I know. You're true on that.
And not only does it take a ridiculous amount of time and stamina to level characters, it also takes a ridiculous amount of time to level your account as well. Each 10 stamina
Okay.
you spend is 10 experience, so it's
Okay.
basically a level or two a day after you get somewhat into the game, and
Mm. Yep. Yep. It's 10 XP per your run, then 1000 XP for you to level up. Yep. It's low, but yeah, that could be faster if you like recharge energy, which you should do early.
less than a level a day at higher level. If you use premium currency, you can refill stamina up to 10 times a day though, which will
Mm.
put you literally 3 to 4 days ahead every single day, which
Yes.
massively helps you get through the story locked content and get to PvP faster. We
Yes. Yes, that is true. Yeah. But yep, that's optional. That's really optional.
all thought this was going to be a PvP focused game with PvE in it, and somehow the devs made it a PvE game where you can only get to the PvP if you survive 4 hours of shitty Honkai Impact third style missions. At the beginning of the game, you're required to do the story, which ultimately isn't that big of a deal, but I would be lying to you if I didn't say that that was one of the most frustrating experiences
Mm.
I've ever had in a gacha game.
Okay. Okay, yeah, it's true that this one is story locked. The other like other contents are story locked. Yes, true.
It's not that the story is hard, it's that the story missions are a chore. It feels like you're in a tiny little box and you have to go from one side to the other and you can't stray at all. And whenever
Well, you can one shot these guys if you're like on stealth mode. Yeah, this one's easy. This one's easy. I don't know with Brax. I don't know if like he knows it, but yeah, you can one shot these guys on the field. without even battling them.
Whenever there's an enemy, there's a 50-50 chance you get forced into a combat session. If you're a story enjoyer, I'm sure it's fine. But the year is 2025. Why is the story being told like our phones are Nokia bricks? Also, in order to access PvP, you have to do the story up to a certain point. In fact, to access and move forward with any part of the game,
Yeah, as I've said, it's story locked.
you're required to do the story. The one saving grace is that there is a skip button for people who don't care, but because the story is
Yeah, all hail the skip button. Yeah.
level gated, there's a lot of times where you just can't play the game beyond doing daily auto farm missions unless you spend your premium currency on refills of stamina. On the contrary to that, when you level up, you get more stamina that you have to spend immediately or you'll overcap. So sometimes you're forced not to play the game, and other times you're forced to play the game.
Well, it really depends if you'll really like to recharge your stamina. But yeah, Brax is saying facts here.
And all of this is just on the quest to get to a high enough level to be able to farm the endgame gear so that way you can play the PvP. How long does it take to get to endgame farming and actually compete in PvP as a free-to-play player who's not wasting their premium currency? Drum roll, please. 30 to 60 days.
わかってる
Hmm. Hmm. I guess I guess that one's okay. I guess 2 months is like, yeah, that one's okay. That's a good estimate.
You have to play through this auto farm slop for 1 to 2 months just to be able to enjoy endgame PvP. And enjoy is being used loosely, because if you're free to play, you should honestly just give up. If you don't have the right units,
Well, I am free to play, but I am on diamond on arena, and I've hit gold on RTA. Yeah, and I'm still climbing up to platinum up to until now. So, yeah, everything's fine. It's still good though.
you're going to struggle with PvE farming and PvP. This game's progression is so incredibly slow that it feels terrible to try and level up. It feels like your characters make no progress daily. The pacing is so
Well, when you get to the point of like uh leveling too much characters, yep, it gets to that point. That's true. So you really have to like think it through if you really want to invest on a character.
poor that for most people, the only way you're going to enjoy this game is by spending. I mean, this is literally the gameplay for almost 2 months.
Yeah, spending is an option, and as I've said, it's it's uh it's pay to win. All gacha games has pay to win options.
You would genuinely have a better time watching paint dry and eating the paint chips off the wall afterwards. And honestly, I was gonna leave the video mostly at that, just being, kind of pay to win and not very fun in the PvE. But then
Okay.
the devs decided to suicide their game. Here's the thing, they decided
Okay.
to make a pretty
I think this would be like the nerf. The nerf, yeah.
good overall PvP
I mean, not the nerf, the update, the update that didn't show up.
system, with different game modes like an offline defense mode and a real-time arena. They even have private matches and a system made for casting tournaments.
See, yeah, it's really PvP oriented, but it's great.
It's honestly super impressive how much work they put into it and how well it
Mhm.
functions. Duplicates of
Mhm.
characters still do give bonus stats, and your units matter just as much as your gear.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
But that's about what you'd expect from a gacha game. And for sure, the best part of Etheria Restart is how good the PvP system is, despite its flaws. The weird
Yes, PvP is really good. Yeah, they're really inclined onto like the PvP aspect of things.
part, though, is that they've been nerfing units that people spent weeks worth of resources
There you go. There you go. He addressed it.
on. The trash! Because get this, the boss that's meant to be farmed is being farmed too easily. And no,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's the Sanya. It's the Shadow Sanya thing. And the Shada thing. And the Veronica thing.
I'm not joking. Within 2 weeks of this game being released, they felt like people were farming the game too easily, so they nerfed a character that people spent all of that time investing in. Like, I
Yeah.
just don't get the thought process there. The whole point
I I know. I know they did that, but yep, they did give compensations, and yep, they like replied to the player base, so it's all good, I think.
of the gacha game is for you to not play the game that much. Like, there's literally stamina in the game for that reason, to stop you from playing all the time. So I don't really understand why it would be a problem that people are clearing the content that they're supposed to be clearing using a strategy that's completely fair and within the rules of the game. Balancing
Mm.
characters to PvE is a huge mistake for a game with PvP in it. Naturally,
Mm.
players weren't too happy with the decision. After all, what sense does it make to make PvE farming harder in a gacha game? And
Well, well, that makes sense though. It You really need to like go farm before you go to the PvP content. But yup, it really like you really don't need to be on like the best of the best to like rank up. But yeah, definitely you have limits.
to add insult to injury, XD didn't even offer to refund players their invested resources and
Oh, okay. Okay, they answered this. They answered this one. They did another reset, right? They did another reset event.
until players began to criticize them for it. As mentioned 30 times in this video already, it takes a ridiculous amount of resources to level a character in that game. It's like they
Yeah.
don't even play their own game. I don't know what they're thinking. At this point, if recent events are anything to go off of, then Etheria Restart is more cooked than the chicken I had for dinner because I'm terrified of food poisoning. Speaking of
Hey, Brax. Okay, they turned it around though. They turned it around though. But yeah, it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough.
cooked though, it gets even worse for Etheria because genuinely, what the fuck is this? Yeah, so basically to save a couple bucks and not hire real artists, XD
Okay.
used generative AI to create their character splash arts. Now,
Oh, okay. I didn't know that, but yep, yep. I don't really want AI to like replace like living artists. Yeah, I love living artists. Like, yep, I am an artist myself. Way back. uh, I'm not practicing now.
sure, I can understand the argument that it's XD's game and they can do what they want with their own property, but what I'm wondering is, if this
Mhm.
company has millions of dollars to spend on marketing and
Yeah.
made back millions more dollars in the first
Yeah.
week of the game, how is it that they couldn't afford to throw $10,000 at an actual artist to make their splash arts and not have
Okay. For this, I think they just like uh rack up some bucks. Then the other patch, I think they like hire an artist, because XD is in a bind, like financially, when I think when this game is released. Like they did do a paid beta. They did do a paid beta for this game. So yup, yeah, they need to like rack up bucks big time to like to make this open. So they really did the paid beta version. Like you can buy anything you can buy anything from the shop in beta, and they will not like roll back that one.
have huge glaring errors in them. That kind of laziness gives me the impression that XD doesn't actually care about making the game good at all, and that they're just in on the gacha rug pull meta developed over the past few years. Don't get me wrong, it looks better than Epic 7 by far, but this game still
Okay.
feels like it's so far behind every other new gacha game. With its story missions, its archaically and needlessly confusing UI, and its
Well, I don't know about the UI though. It's oh maybe it's confusing. Poor story design. Yeah. Yeah. This is only the first release, right? This is only the first patch. Like, give it a chance. Give it a chance. Like, yeah, Wuthering Waves plot on version 1 was like, it meh. It's meh. Okay? So, yeah. Now Wuthering Waves is good.
extra gotcha rarity mentality. The game is highly unit dependent, resources are incredible.
Yeah, the lack of resources. Yes, this is true. Uh Gacha banners. I don't know about gacha banners though, but yep. I definitely pull for the limited 5 only. I mean the standard 5.
Incredibly scarce, the story gameplay isn't engaging, and it takes you forever to even start farming gear for PvP, in which
Well, yeah, that's all. That's true. That's true.
case you're already behind everyone who swiped if you're free to play. And I haven't even spoken about the monetary advantages yet. There are so many low spender packs to
Yeah. Okay, this one's normal. This one's really normal. As I've said earlier, like, there are gacha games who like, it's like this, right? Punishing Gray Ravens has this. As far as I know, Punishing Gray Ravens has this. Uh Summoner's War has this, and many more. So, yep. Uh yeah, I accept this. I accept this though. Though, yeah, all gacha games would have like a system in where it's a cash grab. They'll rob you of cash.
try and get you to spend. And if you do spend, the advantages you get over free to play players is absolutely disgusting. From just having more SSRs to actually leveling them and progressing them further faster.
Mm.
Etheria Restart is incredibly pay to win, as much as they don't want you to believe it.
Yeah, it is pay to win, and yep, all gacha games are pay to win, as I've said. But yeah, the thing here is, it's still free to play friendly. Yeah, you can't change my mind there.
But ultimately, at the end of the day, I gave up after 30 hours. Not because of the pay to win, not because the game was too hard
Mm-hmm.
or anything like that, but because it just wasn't fun. At least
Yeah, it feels repetitive, but I think it's not it's not his kind of tea. Yeah, I think it's not like, it does not like entices him to play. But yeah, I really like the game. You can do so many things on this game. Like, there's too many to do.
not for me. And I'm sure there are plenty of people who enjoy
Yeah, there you go. It's not for him.
Etheria Restart, and it is 100% free to try it, so if you want to give it a go, go for it. But I can't in good faith recommend this game to anyone, because
Yeah, it's not for anyone. It's not for anyone. But yep, if you're like a guy who loves turn-based games, or like loves Summoner's War, or played Summoner's War before, or Epic 7 or Arc Knights, yeah, definitely give this a try.
at the moment, the progression systems are poorly developed, the gameplay doesn't feel that engaging unless you're in PvP, and even when you're
Mhm.
there, it's so pay-to-win favored that you probably would be better off just finding another game to play. I would rather play League. I have 12 hours
No, no, I won't play League. No, please, not that hell.
played in 10 years of having an account. I fucking hate that game. There is one thing that this game does extremely well, though, and that's unions. If you have a group of friends that you love to play with, unions provide a way for you guys to support each other.
Yeah, Sean B said that this has like, this is buggy. Like, there has a lot going on in here, but I really think it's okay though. It still it functions as normal. I don't know. I don't know.
Better than your parents did, but I'm gonna be honest, that's about it. Let me know if you like this video or if you want me to go myself. I'll see you guys.
Okay. There you go. That's the whole video. I hope you like my like yeah. I hope you like it. Yeah. If you yep. Okay. Bye bye.